This video discusses what you need to do as an employer to comply with your Working with Children check requirements. The first step is registration. It's easy to register as an employer. Just go to the Children's Guardian website and make your way to the I'm an Employer section, then click Register. This will begin the process. When creating an employer registration, you will need to fill in all relevant fields with your business details, including the contact details of 2 staff members you have authorised to discuss with us any Working with Children check matters relevant to your organisation. When choosing an email address for the registration, remember that confidentiality is important, as we may need to send information to you that only an authorised person is permitted to see. We suggest you use specific email addresses and not mailbox type email addresses. Verification is one of the most important parts of compliance. By going online and confirming the status of your workers' checks, you create an ongoing link between you, the employer, the worker, and the OCG system. Verification is the only way you can know if a person is currently cleared to work with children. It also gives us a way of contacting you if the status of a worker's clearance changes and they're no longer able to work with children.
To perform a verification, you will need to log on to your employer portal. This is set up for you when you register. You only need 3 pieces of information to complete a verification: the person's check or application number, the person's surname, it must be the name used on their application, the person's date of birth. Parents are also able to perform what is called an individual verification. This is for situations where, for example, they're engaging a tutor or coach who is a sole trader. The parent has the right to verify their check to ensure they are engaging someone who has been cleared to work with children. Verification is a legal requirement. Under Working with Children check legislation, you or your organisation must do it. Remember though, you are only able to verify if you have an employer registration or you're a parent. It is a legal requirement to keep records of the Working with Children check verification history of your workers. You need to keep them for 7 years after the worker leaves your employment.
There is a template for record keeping created by the OCG. It gives you a place to keep track of all the important details of a check, such as the employee's name, date of birth, WWC or APP number, the date you performed the verification, the outcome of the verification, the check expiry date, and whether the worker is paid or volunteer. This is a free resource that you can find on our website. Record keeping becomes important if you receive a call from us to talk to you about a worker or if we're conducting an audit. If your records are up to date, you'll be able to meet your legal requirements and quickly respond with the information we're asking for. It also helps you manage upcoming renewals so you can support your workers to ensure they're always working with a valid check.
When you verify, there are 7 potential outcomes. Some indicate the person can work with children, some indicate they can't. Let's start with the ones that say they can. Application in progress. This means what it says. We're looking at it, but we haven't finished the process yet. This could be because the applicant has only just applied, or because we have a backlog of applicants, we're having difficulty matching the person to the correct records, or we're awaiting information from an external source. In some of these cases, we will have conducted an initial risk assessment. Application in process, where an APP number is given, means the person is legally permitted to start working with children. You should verify the APP number and also verify when they tell you the application is finalised and now they have a clearance. Cleared. The applicant is cleared to work with children. These people will have a WWC number, which you should verify. The clearance lasts for 5 years and the person's records will be continuously monitored for that time. If something happens, such as a workplace or criminal record, they may be subject to a risk assessment and could potentially be barred. We will let you know if this happens. This is why it is important to register and verify. At the end of the 5-year period, the person will need to renew their check. The following verification results mean you cannot engage the applicant in child-related work. Barred. The applicant has had their Working with Children check cancelled. Interim bar. The applicant has been barred from working with children while awaiting the outcome of a risk assessment. Not found. No match could be found to the data you entered to verify the person. This is often a data entry error. Double check the information you've entered. Ensure only the surname is being entered, that it is spelled correctly and that it's the same one the applicant used when applying for their check. Remember, you can't engage this person in a child-related role until you've successfully verified them. Closed. The person no longer has a valid Working with Children check and cannot be engaged in child-related roles without applying for a new clearance. Applications are closed for a number of reasons, such as applying for a second check when one has already been refused, for not disclosing a previous alias, maiden name, or another name you have legally been known by, or because someone hasn't responded to a request for information as part of the risk assessment process. If the person requires a check, they can apply again. Expired. The person no longer has a valid clearance because they didn't renew their check. They must not be engaged in child-related work until they provide a valid APP or WWC number for you to verify. In all these cases, it is an offence for these people to be engaged in child-related work, both for them and for you. Okay, that's it for this video. I hope you found it useful.
The next video in the series looks at what you'll need to do if one of your workers becomes barred from working with children.
Visit our website for policy samples, posters and templates. You can also find videos, including the others in this series. Or send us an email or give us a call and let us help you on your child safe journey.